Welcome to the Sports Drink Club. I am your host, Patrick Melton, along with my co-host, Keenan Duke, and we are in the mix yet again, Keenan.
Yes, sir.
Out here in L.A. Looks like
California.
that you're enjoying your Cinco de Mayo drink here with
some tequila and orange juice.
What kind of tequila is this?
I forget the name of it, but it's I don't remember the name of it. It's tequila that my coworker's wife got me for my birthday.
Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I feel fine.
All right, we're feeling good.
I'm not like tipsy or anything like that. I feel straight.
Well, I am enjoying a big glass of water right now because I have been peltering myself with all types of beers, and
you've had a glass of this as well.
I have had a glass of this. I'm probably going to have a glass of this right after the show here, but
that's cool.
Drinks up to everyone that's out there enjoying their Cinco de Mayo. I hope that you had a great, safe day and made it back in one piece, because you're probably sitting at your desk right now wondering what the heck you did with your life the day before, because you most likely drank it away.
That's if you're sitting at your desk.
That's
if you made it.
Or if you're driving in your car right now, you're just feeling the worst right now. Be like, damn it, my boss is going to know. Well, your boss probably got messed up too.
Have some Visine, maybe. Although I guess that's for something else.
Was it? Well, actually, we are in California, so you never know. Cinco de Drinko, Cinco de Mayo, however you want to celebrate it. I hope that you had a safe one. But we want to talk about fouls and penalties and how they run our world, run our sports world.
They run the sports world, that's for sure.
Yes, but first thing is first, I want to go over the NBA playoffs real quick. This is our three-pointer.
No pun intended.
Oh, come on, bro. Like, you know that I wasn't trying to go there with that, but
you're so punny.
But basically, we're going to go with 3 points to cover these 4 series that we've got going on first. To discuss right off the bat, the 76ers and the Raptors series, which is now tied up 2-2 as the 76ers have lost today against the Raptors. But offhand,
it was a close game.
It was a close game. It was a really good game. And Jimmy Butler had an excellent game today.
Yeah.
And losing
so
effort.
Did
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard
kind of put the game on his back.
Yes, he definitely did. And if they're going to win this series, it's definitely going to be one. But offhand, let me ask you something. How entertaining is Joel Embiid? Not the basketball player, but just on commercials and stuff like that.
You love Joel Embiid right
Hulu.
Joel going live on Hulu.
Cha-ching.
Going live on Hulu. Cha-ching.
Hello.
That man.
That's what I think about when Joel Embiid is talking. We just went out here and we did the game like this. Rihanna, get at me.
That's so terrible.
But anyways, I'm just messing with you, though. But Joel Embiid is pretty entertaining. He's no Shaq, but he's probably the closest thing that we're going to get to it. A big man being funny.
Yeah, he's pretty hilarious. Like, just like his mannerisms and all that stuff. Like, he's an entertaining guy to watch. Like, you see him in the commercials, and like he's almost one of those guys where he's like funny without trying to be funny. It's like he doesn't really know he's funny.
You know that's totally him, though.
Yeah, like whereas like Shaq was like he would kind of go out of his way to do things funny. Like he would. Yeah, like he was like a comedian, like in his own right. You know what I mean? Like Shaq just kind of had like his own persona.
And now he's doing all the commercials. He's doing the general commercial.
I know.
Come to the general and save some time.
He's just like rolling with it. He doesn't care. He's really funny. But yeah.
Icy hot commercials now. And how the heck is he going to get in that Buick? He did Buick commercials for a minute too, bro.
Yeah, he did.
His big body ain't getting in that Buick like that, bro.
Well, Buicks are kind of big in general.
Bro.
They are. They're one of the bigger size sedans.
They are a bigger size sedan, but I swear he hopped out of a clown car, bro, one time.
I mean, he's going to make a large sedan look like a clown car.
No wonder that he did Icy Hot commercials, because he was probably cramped in the car. And did the general, too. I need insurance. My back hurts. Come to the general and save some time. Look at that. But honestly, my three-pointer here, Joel Embiid plays well. That's the reason why the Sixers are going to win. There's really no question that he's one of the more dominant players in the game right now at his position. But I don't think that the Sixers are going to win the series because my other 3-pointer, I believe that the Sixers are going to lose in 7. Okay, to Toronto. And third pointer, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Second best player in the league right now.
You think so?
Next to Kevin Durant. Absolutely.
So you think he's better than Steph?
I think that he is better than Steph. I think that he can do more things than Steph. He can score. He can defend. He's long. He's able to make plays without the basketball. Same with Steph, but he's just a bigger body player he's more physical. He's able to guard more positions. Steph is limited in whom he can guard.
This is true.
With Kawhi Leonard, he can guard pretty much anybody from 1 through 4 on the court and score from a lot of different angles. And definitely he's the reason why that team goes. But I believe that the Raptors are going to win that series in 7.
Okay.
And we're getting on to Portland and Denver, which is tied up 2-2.
Denver, which in a previous podcast, you didn't think they were going to make it to this point.
I did not think that they would make it to this point.
I questioned you on that one.
Yes, you did.
I guess I was right about that. To question you.
Good thing that you didn't bet a sweet tea on it.
This is true.
Well,
lucky for you.
Lucky for me, Portland Trailblazers are tied up 2-2. And a series never starts until someone wins at home. Well, both teams, a series never starts until someone loses at home. And both teams have lost at home this year. Today's game, Jamal Murray did go off in a flurry. Jamal Murray flurry. 35 points. Paul Millsap with another 20 and 10.
Donald's McFlurry.
I like McFlurries.
I do too. I've been killing ice cream this weekend.
Bro, you want to get some ice cream after this?
Yes.
We deserve
ice cream. We go to that Ruby's place.
We deserve ice cream after this.
All right, let's get a shake.
Shout out to Ruby's up in North Hollywood. Yeah. We need sponsoring.
Or just if you want to provide free ice cream for us, that would be great.
Bro, them shakes really did look good.
They did look good. Okay.
My 3-pointer in this, I still think that the Trailblazers are going to bounce back and win this series 4-2. Dame Lillard has to play incredible along with McCollum. That's point 2. And point 3, the Trailblazers cannot lose anymore at home. That's a place that they have played very well all season. I believe that they are going to end up winning this series 4-2, and look for the Trailblazers and Dame Lillard to get to the Western Conference Finals.
I think they'll get there too.
I think so too.
I hope so. I think they're fun.
I think that would be a fun Western Conference Finals to see. Would be the Warriors and the Trailblazers,
or the Rockets,
and the Trailblazers. But we'll be talking about somebody that plays for the Rockets a little bit later on.
This is true.
And
that's coming up.
And that could be the reason why they don't make it. But we got the Bucks and the Celtics, which the Bucks are up 2-1. Really not a lot of people watching this series, unless if you're a Bucks or a Celtics fan.
No, it's kind of like the least talked about series right now.
Exactly. I think because their games are not prime time.
Yeah, it's like the forgotten series.
It kind of is. And it should be at the forefront, you would think, no?
No.
Just with the star players that are there, Giannis.
I'm just thinking
Kyrie Irving.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of like of the 4 series, it deserves to be in like the least talked about. I feel like.
Okay, no problem. What I do have my 3. No problem. But I do have my 3-pointer here. Giannis is still the key to the victory right here for the Bucks. If they are going to win this series, he has to continue to go out there and average double-doubles and win on the road, which he's definitely done against the Celtics coming into the series, stealing the first one at home. That's extremely important. Kyrie Irving. You can edit that. Kyrie Irving must continue to play like a leader, and this team must win at home and protect their court if they're going to win this series. My 3rd point, the Bucks will win in 6, and that's a sweet tea bet. You want to take it?
No.
Why?
Because I think the Bucks are gonna win too.
Well, I'm gonna bet a sweet tea against myself.
Okay.
So if I don't win,
you win.
I win. If I lose,
then you win.
Yeah. It's the best of both worlds, like hot ice.
It's the best of both worlds.
You heat up the ice cubes.
It's the best of both worlds.
Bro, I can't get that movie off of my head, bro. Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets, which their last game went into overtime, and Golden State is still up 2-1.
Yeah.
Most entertaining series for sure because of the controversial game one. But
Houston needed that game.
They really did need that game.
They needed to win that for sure. I think you're clearly looking at a sweep.
Hey, and we still could be looking at a 4-1 series right
Possibly,
now.
but I actually wouldn't be surprised if they tied up.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did either.
I mean, it would be interesting to see every single series tied up.
That would be interesting.
It seems to be that's the general direction that it's going.
Yeah, and Houston's got to play well at home. That is really what's important. But Golden State has the ability to win on the road. There's too many weapons that they have at this moment in time. I just feel like Houston's going to end up crumbling at some point. But my first point is Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, Chris Paul, and PJ Tucker, if they have to play well if the Rockets want to win this series. Okay.
Well, that's because you can't just have James Harden carrying your team. Like, you got too many talented players for just him to carry your team to a series win over the Golden State Warriors.
Exactly.
Like, you need the rest of them to have their share of input in order to win the game, like win the series.
100%.
You can't just have James Harden winning isolation.
Man, that would be great if we saw something like that. just see him score 75
James
points.
Harden just isolation all game, every game, just winning, just literally putting Houston Rockets on his back.
Shoot the J, shoot it,
shoot it.
Like Prince and how he dominated in Dave Chappelle.
The shirts versus the blouses.
Game blouses, and you just see Harden pop up.
He's like ducking on him. He's like serving up
pancakes.
Steph Curry, it's pancakes. Would you like some pancakes? Bitches. Steph Curry's like, it's a good game, man. James Harden's like, I wish I could say the same for you.
Well, we know that ain't gonna happen because second point, Golden State is gonna be winning the 6 games. I don't think the Rockets are gonna steal another one in Golden State, to be honest. And really, the bonus point, the money ball. Kevin Durant has been averaging 36-6 a game, essentially 37 points a game in this series. And I look for him to continue the momentum as the Warriors will end up wrapping this thing up 4-2. I do think that the Rockets are actually going to win on the road. Okay. I think they're going to end up splitting here at home.
You think they'll lose their next game?
I think they'll lose their next game at home, go down 3-1, and actually win in Golden State. And then Golden State will go ahead and wrap that series up on the road, depending on how they do it, which I think they're going to do 2-2, 1-1-1. So they'll end up winning on the road against the Rockets. Game over, done deal.
Okay.
I know it's
I'm not going to argue on that one.
It's a little bit of a shaky series, you would think, kind of dramatic in a sense, but I just think that they're going to end up wrapping this thing up.
You think it'll be a dramatic in the sense that, like, they'll go back to Golden State. Houston needs to win. They'll get that win.
Right.
But then just after that.
Yeah, like, Rockets are going to win at home. Yeah, they're going to tie the series up.
Nah. Okay.
And it's just going to end up being a blowout or something like that. Right. Mark my words, guys. But let's go ahead and just get into what we really wanted to discuss was about how fouls and penalties and reviewing those fouls and penalties are impacting the game. Okay.
And not just basketball.
And not just basketball, but all sports. Okay. But just to start off with James Harden and kind of his style of play, do you consider it cheating? Do you consider it cheap? Or is he just taking advantage of a loophole that clearly, people could take advantage of loopholes just like anybody would, in the real world, like lawyers or
and that's the thing. Like it seems that everyone's complaining about him taking advantage of the loophole, quote unquote, of the way that he's able to get away with these calls and get these calls, where it's like you do have to take into consideration everybody does that, which doesn't make it okay. Let's just throw that out there. Just because there's a loophole and you take advantage of it does not mean that is okay.
That's 100% true.
So just because he's doing it and everybody else is doing it in whatever field of profession there is, doesn't mean that that's okay. At the same time, you can't get too upset with him because he is playing the game the right way to a degree. It's just his style of play lends to him being able to get calls like that.
Right.
In which, they even talked to Kevin Durant and asked him, like, do you think he's cheating the game and all that? And even he said no.
No.
Like, in like this article that he has with NBC Sports, like literally they asked him and his reply was, I wouldn't say that he has an advantage. I think everybody, once they get into the lane, they use little tricks to try and get their shots off. I don't think he's any different. He may bump guys off going to the rim, but everybody does that. I wouldn't say that he's found a way to cheat the rules. I wouldn't say that. I just think that he has a style of play. It might not be what everybody likes to see, but it's been effective, and I don't think he's been cheating the game at all.
Exactly. I 100% have to agree with Kevin Durant, as much as that hurts me to say it, because just watching it with my own eyes and seeing how the rules are set up for the NBA now, it's almost like NFL. You're not allowed to touch the quarterback, okay? Just like how you're not allowed to touch the offensive player with the basketball now.
Yeah.
You have to play honest defense, is what some people would say,
which is tough.
And the thing is, that's very tough without getting physical. Okay. And the way that he has done it, he has manipulated his game to where now people have to respect people have to respect ball fakes. People have to respect pump fakes. People have to respect dribble drive crossovers. You can't just bulldog people anymore like you used to back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the way that he's able to finesse the eye, okay, the way that a referee would see it, okay, they're gonna
like
look
their side, like their side of line.
Exactly, their side of line. It looks like it's a foul, but it may not actually be a foul. It may not. It may not be that at all.
Which is frustrating for fans because we don't have the same angle that the ref is working with. So we're seeing it and we're saying that's not a foul.
That's not a foul.
But from the ref's perspective, it looks like a foul.
Exactly.
So he's gonna call that because from his viewpoint, that's a foul all day. But since we kind of have this semi bird's eye view of the game and everything, we look at it and it's like, oh, he's clearly like motioning himself to get that call.
And with different angles and replay and all that stuff. So we get to see it a lot differently than what a referee would see it for the first time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
In real life, yeah.
In real life. So,
and they always show us like the play over again and the ref's not seeing that.
Exactly.
So that's also what goes into it. It's just like we're not there in real time. He's got to make that call in real time. We don't.
Exactly.
So, what's the ref really to do? Like he has to make the call or not. So
exactly. And there's a lot of people out there who are talking about like a landing zone and basically you have to, if as a defender, you cannot be in the landing zone of a shooter. So we're assuming that a shooter is going straight up and down and not moving out of that particular spot that he started with his shooting motion.
That's like you can't do that because then you're just playing with physics in the game. Like you can't, and like people are moving, like it's a sport. You have to move in order to make the game go. And if someone's making a move and you're guarding them and they do a step back or something like that, and you kind of maybe get fooled by it for a second, but try and recover and jump to maybe try and at least distract them or try and block the ball. Like,
but you have to give the shooter a clear landing
you can't
spot.
Land in the landing zone. And if you do, that's a foul or something like that, then what are you supposed to do? Like you're just supposed to give them a free shot because you got faked out partially, but you tried to recover and now you landed in the
landing zone.
Like no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it gets a little ridiculous with Harden because he has, like I said, he finesses referees, bro.
But at the same time, to go back to that same point, like he's perfected his style of play and he's very good at faking people out. So if you get faked out, like I said, and you're trying to recover, are you just not supposed to recover anymore? Because
I know,
of these new quote unquote rules of landing zones and all this stuff like that. Like you have to try and play the game, and getting faked out and all that stuff and trying to recover and trying to move about and whatnot, like that's just part of the game. So you have to let that be.
All I know is that if he was playing at the rec center or the playground with us, that's not happening. Half of the stuff that he's talking about is not a foul, bro. That's just good, clean, physical play most of the time. Now, I'm not saying people don't foul Harden or bulldog Harden because they definitely do, but I'm sorry, he's not getting away with that at the rec center. Now,
that's because people are just gonna start hacking on.
I know, but here's really let me peel back another layer about the rec center stuff. Okay. People now are starting to use James Harden stuff at the rec center.
But they can't pull it off like him,
bro. And people do it, and they're like, "That's a foul." Like, oh my god, here we go.
We're not. This isn't professional.
He is corrupting our game, and I don't mean NBA. I'm talking about at the rec level.
But then, don't you think Steph Curry corrupted it? Because I'm sure people just started
him too.
Threes.
Bro, him too.
Like everyone thinks they can drain threes now.
Bro, I hate it so much. It's so annoying. People,
I don't play basketball like that. So,
bro, you got people at the rec center. When we went to LA Fitness the other day, bro, you got people at the rec center shooting it from the A logo of the LA Fitness sign, bro. Like, it's like, why? I'm Dame Lillard. Woo, corrupting our rec game.
Okay, so tell me, like, quick aside. How was the basketball experience at the LA
Bro, it's
Fitness?
all, man, it's a bunch of Kobe's and stuff up there, man. Like, oh man, I ain't getting on the court, man, because it's my team. It's like, all right, well, I'm looking for 3 more players, please. Like, hey, does anybody want to play? I'm playing next. I guess I wasn't tall enough.
Yeah, so they pretty bougie about.
Bro, they
basketball.
are bougie about their basketball,
yeah,
man.
I kind of
like,
got that. So every time I like peek in there, which isn't often, but anytime I see the people who go into there, I'm like, oh, they seem like they got their little crew, like they real for real about their basketball.
Bro, it's so ridiculous, bro. Like it's not even a big deal.
Yeah, like
and a little piece of me just believes that they just wanted to play all day.
Yeah,
and you know,
not let anybody.
And they're the type of dudes who don't pass. They got a bunch of dudes out there who jacking up shots.
Yeah,
and trying to like put a highlight reel together.
Mm-hmm.
I even saw a dude record the whole entire. He recorded his whole entire rec center run or whatever, his game, on IG Live. He's like, bro, I gotta get it on the live, bro, because I might do something, bro. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everybody just wants to come out here and play basketball,
exactly. Bro. Everyone's just trying to be in shape and have some fun.
Bro, it got a little bit bougie up there.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm not hurt. But just one fun fact, guys. During James Harden's career, he has drawn 429 three-point shooting fouls. Over the past 3 seasons, the Charlotte Hornets have drawn 185 three-point shooting fouls. And James Harden has drawn 288 by himself.
Good Lord.
He is head and shoulders above everyone else when it starts to get in fouls. He's head and shoulders above everyone else when it comes to getting on the free throw lines.
Yeah.
And this year, he actually shot more than 200 more three-pointers than the next person, who was Steph Curry.
Wow.
I think James Harden shot over 1,000. It was like something like 1,050 or something like that.
That's wild.
3-point attempts.
Do you remember his?
It was in the high 30s. It was in the high 30s.
Is that good or no?
In comparison to Steph Curry, no, who was in the mid 40s.
Yeah, but he's obviously just king of that. But
and
but compared to the rest of the field, is that pretty good?
It was decent.
Okay.
If you shoot a lot, you might hit something.
Yeah.
So
it's a hole. It's a hole you can't get a hit if you never swing the bat.
It's true. But are fouls and penalties taking over sports? We see it in basketball, obviously, with James Harden, and that sort of stuff. But it's similar to soccer in a sense. I feel like James Harden has now perfected this art.
I feel like a lot of basketball players are like, it's like they watch soccer and see how soccer players have finessed the rules and the game of just like getting fouled, and they like emulated that.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like basketball is starting to feel a lot like soccer.
It really
with them,
is.
Like getting fouls and stuff like that.
It really is. Is it kind of painful to watch?
It is, because that's a complaint about a lot of people that they have towards soccer, where it's like, you see these players barely getting touched or something like that, and they fall to the ground. And obviously with soccer, they like take acting classes where they roll around and act like they broke their ankle.
Crazy.
And then they get up like, a minute later and start running around like nothing ever happened. But you're starting to see that same kind of thing with basketball, where like, you barely touch somebody, they fall down to the ground trying to get a call. And it's like, really? Like, is this how you want to play the game? Like,
right.
Which is annoying, because that was my problem with soccer before I really got into it. Was just like, I'd watch the game, like, they barely got touched and they're falling to the ground trying to get these calls. And it's like, me as a person, like as a fan, and just, I would watch the game and I'd be like, if I was a ref and I saw that, I would almost be tempted to like call, like give a card to the person who like tried to get the call, like get up, like just keep playing the game.
Exactly.
Like, he barely touched you. Yeah, I'm gonna give the advantage maybe, and if the play doesn't quite work out because you got infringed upon in some form or fashion, like then I'll call it back and like give the foul. But like,
exactly,
try and play through that. But the fact that you're almost like trying to initiate contact to get a call, you see that in soccer, and you're seeing it in basketball. And I think that's starting to lend to a lot of people's frustration with watching sports now,
right?
Where it's like no one's really trying to play the game. They're like, in a sense, they're trying to cheat the game so they can just score more points.
Well, that's what people like to see, is they like to see offense. And you can even start to move that over into the NFL football world with just them getting calls off of pass interference, getting calls by, maybe they're slightly getting held and
or just like the quarterback call, like we're roughing the passer. Where you, but
roughing the
what was
passer
that one play
is
that
huge,
everyone was giving the NFL crap about? Where it was like that one defensive lineman like barely like grazed Tom Brady's like face mask, and they called roughing the passer. And then there's like another play where someone gets obliterated. And
they don't call it at all.
And it's like, are you serious? Like, what's going on here? Like, what are we watching? Is this football?
Bro, football is about to get a little bit different because now since the Saints game, the Saints-Rams game with Coleman Robinson out there, who, drew that pass interference call that didn't get called.
Yeah.
Now we're able to challenge penalties.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Challenge plays that weren't called penalties.
Just challenge plays that weren't called penalties. Or potentially, maybe it was can you challenge penalties as well?
I don't know.
Maybe. That's either
I guess
way.
We'll find out.
Either way, I don't like it. I just think that it's taking away from the game a bit. In a way, I don't like it. Yeah. I just think that it's taking away from the game, whether you can challenge, flags, or whether you can challenge if something wasn't called.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I think and that's the thing that I think we're kind of finding ourselves in, like not only us as fans, but organizations and just leagues around that are struggling to find like a happy medium on how do we play the game now to where if there is a bad call or if there is a foul or if there isn't a foul, like how do we go about justifying all of this? Like what are the rules and regulations around this to where we can make all of this work? Because clearly us as fans, we can see things that refs aren't privy to during literally like the live action of the game. And then we see something and we get upset and we're chastising the NFL, the NBA, or any soccer league. And we're getting upset, like, why didn't you call this? That was clear. Like, how did you not see it? And it's like, well, the refs don't see that. So how does the NFL and the people who run those leagues appease the fans who are seeing something different and getting upset about calls that refs are struggling to keep up with in real time? And I think that's a balance that we're seeing here that's trying to be mended, like an issue that's trying to be mended, but it's a struggle because we are able to see things in slow motion too, where it's like in slow motion you can see things so much more clearly than what it looks like.
But do you like the fact that it's that you could see things in slow motion? Because there's certain calls, it's like, okay, in high school it's out of bounds. In junior college it's out of bounds. In little league it's out of bounds. But the fact that we could slow down somebody's, to the frame by frame to where, the basketball touched his pinky.
Yeah.
Reverse the call.
Yeah. See, that kind of stuff I find annoying. You know what I mean? Like for me, it depends on what it is we're talking about. Like if it's like a touchdown issue, like did the ball actually cross the line or not? Let's slow it down, take a look. I'm totally for that. Same thing with soccer, like with the VAR system that they got, in place, where it's like, did the ball cross the line? Like, was the entirety of the ball completely over the line at this point? Yes or no? Okay, so we'll take a look at that. If it is, great, goal. If it's not, non-goal. I'm totally behind all of that. But when it comes to, like, for me as a baseball fan, I'm finding baseball like highly annoying to watch. People don't like to watch baseball as it is, seems like, but like for me, I'm getting really annoyed with it because like now you're starting to see people look at plays where they're like sliding into a bag, and they're like, did his hand or his foot pop off the bag at any point in time while the second baseman or the shortstop still has the tag applied? And it's like, okay, if the person beat the play there, then that's what should matter. Like, because if his foot or his hand comes off the bag at any certain time, like unless he flies by the bag, obviously, then that's understandable. But like if he hits it and just because of like the inertia of his movement and just like pure physics of his body, like causes like his hand to come off the bag for a split second, he's still safe to me. Like I don't care if the tag is still applied. he is still safe.
Right.
Don't overturn that call. And if you do, that's ridiculous to me, because then you're just playing with physics at that point.
People do, and that's what I'm saying, is that at any other level, that guy is considered safe.
Yeah.
But at the major league level,
because
since
you
we
have
can
all
slow
these,
it down
you
and
have
all these
the
angles
cameras and all that stuff. Now all of a sudden someone's out, and it's like, that's ridiculous to me.
Well, we definitely want to hear from everyone about this particular subject. Please email us, sportsdrankclub@gmail.com. That's sports, DRANK, or sports, DRANK club@gmail.com. Let us know what your thoughts are. We definitely want to hear you. But I have to agree with you, Keenan. This is getting to the point where fans are frustrated about the game, it being slowed down, it being broken down frame by frame.
Yeah.
This is the way that, the outcome is going to be if someone challenges a play. I wonder if there's any other sports out there that are having similar, similar issues, with this. Reviewing plays, and I'm sure that there is.
Well, what I'm curious about is, like, okay, so to me the commonality between at least like the fouls and all of that stuff and penalties is that not so much like the replay, because baseball, they're getting into that, but outside of baseball, like the commonality between like fouls and penalties seems to be that it happens in sports where there's like contact, which is, football, basketball, and soccer. Now, what I'm interested in, because I'm not so well versed and knowledgeable in hockey, and is this type of phenomenon happening in hockey? Because that's a very contact heavy sport as well. So are these types of calls and penalties happening within hockey, where people are like selling hits to a degree to like try and get somebody into like the penalty box or something like that, so they can have like a power play? You know what I mean? Like, is that type of thing happening within hockey? That's something that I would like to know. So if there's any listeners out there that are, big hockey fans and know that, please email us and let us know if that type of thing is happening, because like same thing, like I wonder if that kind of thing is happening within rugby. Also very heavy contact, like just as contact heavy as
people
football.
Just out there just selling themselves,
exactly to try and get a call or a penalty or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, or is it just strictly happening within the confines of soccer, football, and
100%,
basketball?
100%. We definitely want to know. Like I said, email us, sportsdrankclub@gmail.com. We'll love to hear your feedback on this topic tonight. But do the fans know what they want? I believe that we know what we want. We love points. We love a lot of scoring. Whatever the sport is, we definitely love that sort of entertainment.
Yeah, but
when it comes to basketball, football, baseball, just anything.
Yeah, like people like scoring, but at the same time, you're starting to see people complain about the scoring.
Exactly.
Like,
are these players really as great as they are?
It's too easy now. It's like, well, yeah, because we wanted scoring, and so they've amended the rules to allow for more scoring. But now, at that, you've hindered defense to where no one can really play defense to stop scoring. So now it's like, well, are they really playing the game the right way? Or is it just, it's like, no, because
you can't touch the shooter, you can't touch the quarterback,
you can't touch the receiver,
can't touch the receiver.
Yep. It's like everything's geared. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, be careful what you wish for.
Exactly.
Because, if you ask for a whole bunch of scoring and leagues are trying to basically appease fans, and that's what they're asking for, they're going to change the rules to where you're getting more scoring. But at the same time, then it's like, I don't know if I really like all of this, because it just seems too easy. Like, it doesn't seem like nothing seems earned anymore.
Right. Well, everybody complained about the Super Bowl and it being such a low scoring game.
Exactly.
Avril Lavigne did take his shirt off too.
And I'll be Adam Levine.
Adam Levine.
Yeah, you said Avril.
Oh, I sure did say
Avril. I was like, that's a Janet Jackson situation.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, Adam Levine.
Adam Levine. Yes, not Avril.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. But anyway, people complained about that, and I'll be honest, I was one of them, because that game was super boring. But
you didn't like defense?
And that's the thing. Like, I like defense, but to me, as I was saying, after that game,
defense.
It wasn't even that. It's like, it was unexciting defense. Like, there weren't any interceptions. There weren't it's not like a person there were picks for like pick sixes, or like fumbles and big hits or anything like that. Like, it was just a very bland defensive game, which, so it's like I'm partially guilty myself, like a bit of a hypocrite, but at the same time, it's like, where is that fine line?
I understand.
Where's that happy medium? And I think that's what we're all struggling to find. Like everyone's struggling to find, like, what is that exactly? What does it look like?
Well, I hope that these sports can kind of figure it out. And, with the new technology and the new rules that are coming out, it's going to be a trial, it's going to be a trial and error type of deal. So we'll somewhat figure it out. Hopefully the game will get better where we have a happy medium, but this is definitely a topic that we'll end up coming back to at some point in time. But Keenan, I want to talk about our weekend and us coming back from the gym and what we saw with that one guy dancing in your parking lot.
You would.
Anybody who has followed me on my personal page, I posted a guy dancing this weekend. Now, I don't know if he was trying to audition for like a Broadway or jazzercise or doing some sort of Richard Simmons type of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't know what that was.
All right. So for everybody, my apartment complex, there's like a back area where everyone like parks their car. And so in this back area, there's like some room, some space and everything. And I had been told about this person, this resident who lives here, who every now and again comes back here and does a little workout routine.
That's his cardio.
But they're like dancing and like so I had seen it before because one of my neighbors who works at NBC with me, and I like take him into work sometimes. He sent me a video of this person doing their exercises.
He was really getting it.
And he was getting it.
Yes,
and so finally we saw it in person for the first time this weekend.
Yes.
And you were excited about it because this man was getting it.
Yes.
He was thrusting like with the I was like, yeah, get it, boy. Woo!
Man. I mean, and thrusting hard, like, like he was in West Side Story or something.
Like he was like really like he was enjoying his music. I can't even be mad at the boy. I can't even be mad.
Hey, man, I thought that he may have looked really good in a Richard Simmons like workout video. Like one of the dudes in the back.
But then we saw him, and we were like, only in California.
Only in California,
which is true, probably. Like this type of stuff you're only gonna see in California.
And we almost got the other dude.
And then what did we see about 10 minutes later?
We almost had another dude who was doing karate kicks.
I live across the street from this park where a lot of people work out, they like run and do all of this stuff. And so I guess this person was warming up, stretching to get ready for their run. And we just so happened to be driving by, and this person's doing these high leg kicks, just
karate kicks, bro. He was about 342.
Yeah, he's not a small man.
Not
just
at
getting
all.
These high leg karate kicks in.
So I was trying to get the 2 for 2 that day on a video tip, and I couldn't get it. So we're about to get on the highway. I'm like, bro, we have to go back and turn around and see that guy and see if he'll, do the karate kicks for us. So we turned back around trying to get a glimpse of this guy with my camera, but he had already started jogging. Running. So I rolled down my window, and Keaton's like, no, don't do it. I'm like, no, I'm doing it. I go, hey, man,
let me get them karate kicks.
Let me get some karate kicks, son. he took his headphones.
He had his headphones on, and he kind of took them off. Like, what'd you say? And
I was like, get the karate kick, son.
And he just kind of like shook his head like, man, get out of here. He just kept on running. He was so upset.
I tried to get the 2 for 2. Do you blame me? You blame me?
It was hilarious.
I thought it was pretty funny, man. But that was our time out going to the gym. We saw a couple of
other people working out. Just in a different kind of
other
way.
people
Just
working out
in a different kind of way. But we ain't mad at them. Get your workout in. Get your exercise in.
Get your exercise in however you can, guys.
Yep.
Health is wealth. Make sure to go back and listen to our podcast, to our Transformation Tuesday episode where we had Beta Devani on. She talks about her just way back into, being healthy, fighting, depression, fighting her own, personal, obstacles to get to where she's at today. She is a bodybuilder. She is now a bikini model, competitor.
Yep.
And she's an inspiration, man.
Yeah,
we definitely loved having her on. Go back and listen to that podcast, our Transformation Tuesday, which is our last episode. But Keenan, where can the people find us
They can find us on social media at
Oh my
Instagram. They can find us on Instagram at Sports Drink Club. Same tag, same handle for our Twitter handle. And then you can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Cast. What's the other one?
Sods. That's my
Sods.
favorite one. Sods.
You can find us on TuneIn. Most podcast directories out there you can find us on.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you like us, leave us a review, rating, all of that. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at sportsdrinkclub@gmail.com. If we'd love to hear from you.
Definitely want to hear back from you guys, and we've got some great episodes that are coming up here pretty soon. Potentially our breakfast battle.
Okay.
Breakfast food battle.
Hey, I like that.
We want the people to tell us and show us what is your favorite breakfast food. We will try to make some sort of a playoff with it and see who ends up coming out on top. What is your favorite breakfast food? Breakfast of Champions is what we should call it.
All right, I'm cool with that.
The Breakfast of Champions.
Breakfast of
Champions. We'll definitely get that together. I know that we're going to be covering NFL draft. I know that we're going to be covering EPL and Champions League. We got a lot of stuff going on, but once again, episode 8 is a wrap.
Yes, sir.
And
straight from the car.
It is straight from the car. This has been Patrick Melton with the Sports Drink Club. I'm one half member with Keenan Duke. Drinks up, everyone.
Drinks up.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yep.
And we're out.
All right. Catch you later, man.